Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Lance. How you doing, dude?
Doing good. Getting hot here, but it's about time.
We got the bipolar weather here.
Well, it's hot here.
Well, one day it'll be like warm, and then the next day it'll be like chilly, like it's like 50, maybe 60 degrees here, and like a cold rain.
Yeah, no, our summer's here. It's going to be 80 degrees minimum for the next 4 months. Every day. But hey, I don't mind it. I got air conditioning.
Yeah, there you go, dude. Now, with you being Canadian and on, I wanted to get into this anyway because we didn't do a lot of NHL stuff this year. The Stanley Cup Finals. Have you been watching the playoffs this year?
Oh, yeah, I've been watching most games, from Canada. Got to. If you don't watch it, you get deported. And my team wasn't in this year, did horrible, but I had a few Canadian teams in, and it's been pretty good hockey. I always like watching the playoffs no matter what teams are playing, because then you can really see how much they really crank up the game and get going.
I've always said, and some people scoff at me when I say this, that the Cup is the hardest one to win out of all the major sports.
Yeah, 16 games you got to win. And every team could win every night, basically. Like, look, we got Nashville in there. They're an 8th seed,
Yeah, and it's, you know this from watching, like, weird, fluky things can happen and help, propel a team to win. Look at what the Flyers did. It's probably been 5 years or more ago. They were an 8 seed or a 7 seed and went all the way to the Cup.
Yeah, hot goalie always helps. That's why Nashville's in there.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the playoffs now, like the matchups and everything that, have gone to get us to this point. Pittsburgh went through Columbus, who I actually think is a good team. It's just, I don't know, I guess they're like really young and haven't like figured it out yet because they have good goaltending.
You got a good team, very good team, but it's just one of those teams that they don't have playoff experience maybe all the time, so they just, I don't know.
That
going against
sense.
Pittsburgh.
And then Pittsburgh survived Washington coming all the way back from 3-1 to beat them in Game 7, which was a very exciting series.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Two of the best teams in the league.
It just seems like they're snake-bitten, Washington.
They've been snake-bitten since day one.
And
they've always got the bad short end of the straw or the whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, yeah. And then another fantastic series was the last Canadian team in there, Ottawa. I was really pulling for them. That was a very exciting series that they lost in the 7th game in double overtime.
Yeah, Ottawa, there's another up-and-coming team. They've always been a team that's just been there, just almost there, but never over the hump again. And they're a young team, too, and they got the best defenseman in the league now, so.
You would think, that it's only going to go anywhere but up for them.
You would think so.
The one of the most shocking things I think this year in the playoffs was Nashville not only beating Chicago but like embarrassing them.
Wow, that was crazy. They dominated them. It was, I think, Pekka Rinne's goals against average after that series was like .09 or something, or .9 or something.
It was some ridiculous, maybe like 7 goals in 4 games, if that.
Yeah, in the first 2 games, I think he shut him out.
Yes.
So that was the biggest shocker.
Yeah,
I did a playoff hockey pool thing this year, and I picked all Chicago guys and all Boston guys. For some reason, I thought Boston was going to do it, and obviously I was out very quickly.
And the other interesting thing is, a lot of people don't remember, unless you're a big hockey nut, was the big trade that Nashville made in the offseason.
Which trade was that?
Where they traded for PK Subban.
Oh, yeah, that was a huge trade. they traded their best defenseman to get Montreal's best defenseman, but
Yeah.
I would definitely rather have PK Subban, not only because they're probably almost equal players, like total talent wise, but PK Subban's great in the locker room. He's great for the people in the town. He's just a fun guy.
That, and he's a guy, if you're a hockey fan and stuff, he can really get under the skin of another team.
He's one of those agitator guys too. And he donated, I think, like $1 million to a hospital in Montreal to build like a children's ward.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, he goes there every year. And he said just because I'm traded doesn't mean I'm still not going to be back.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But you could kind of see the power in the West is starting to kind of change.
Yeah, the West was really dominant. And now it's pretty much even, I think.
Because the Kings didn't get in this year, and then, the Blackhawks, who've been really dominant, got, just their clock cleaned.
My Canucks used to be a powerhouse. Not anymore.
Yeah, well, they'll get back there eventually. Because Nashville went through St. Louis in the second round, who, and no disrespect to St. Louis, they always seem to come up a little bit short.
Yeah, except back in the old days.
I mean, they'll always say, they'll have, just for example, a 2 seed or, a real high seed, and then they always, go out in, the first or second round.
Yeah, every time.
Because I know they had, I think their goalie is Jake Allen now, who's not too bad, but I don't know what it is with them.
Yeah, it's one of those teams that just, there's 32 teams, I think, so.
Yeah.
That's a lot of teams.
And then we're getting another one now.
The Golden Knights.
It just sounds so weird.
Well, the story about the owner. He's from the military, and that was his
okay. Well,
military insignia type thing. And I'm pretty sure it's we're going to have a team in Seattle coming up because the NHL has copyrighted the name Metropolitans. And that was Seattle used to have a team way back in a long time ago. And they were called the Seattle Metropolitans.
Well, that's good for them because I know Seattle doesn't have anything after the Sonics left.
Well, they got football and baseball.
Right.
So.
I meant because I guess they were huge in with the NBA, and they've really trying to get a team back since.
Well, they got the brand new arena. That was the reason the Supersonics, or Sonics as they were called at the end there, left because they wouldn't build an arena.
Right.
But now they got a brand new one.
Now that's near you, right?
Seattle, yeah, it's about 3 hours south.
Yeah, it's not too far for you. Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then Nashville went and beat Anaheim in the conference finals, who I think is another really good team, but they're kind of changing too.
Yeah, they're getting older. This might have been their last big hurrah.
I kind of agree with you because most of their top guys are getting up there in age.
And the other guys going to want a lot of money. They're turning into what my Canucks turned into. They're going to be old and slow and paid a lot of money to do nothing.
I was going to say, and then with the expansion draft, or where you're only going to be able to protect so many players, you might see guys, go unprotected that are maybe big stars.
Big salaries, yeah.
I mean, it really all depends what, the Golden Knights GM wants to do.
He figured he'd want to get a couple veterans at least, and you think he's probably going to go with best player is probably going to try to get a goalie. That's usually what they try to do in expansion drafts. Just go for the goalie first.
Well, he's the difference maker.
Yeah, he's the only one player on the team that's out there the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'm going to throw some figures out here because I was looking up this stuff for the finals. It's actually a very interesting matchup. Goaltending-wise, in the postseason, Nashville is number 1 with a 1.81 goals against. And Pittsburgh, not too shabby either, number 5 at 2.32.
Yeah, if I could have my pick of the 3 goalies, because Pittsburgh's got 2 great goalies, I'd definitely pick Rene.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just this is like the first year he's kind of done it in the postseason. He's kind of been like shaky before.
He's also got a pretty good team around him now too, so that always helps.
That's
when you got to stop 40 pucks a game, and now you only have to stop 20. It's a hell of a difference.
Like his defense is really good.
Not a fan of their ugly uniforms, but
Dino might appreciate them.
I don't like the yellow helmets.
Yeah, they're kind of ugly.
But hey, it's working.
Here we go. And as far as power play goes, Nashville's further down the line. They're 12th in the postseason, and Pittsburgh is 3rd, which doesn't surprise me considering, they got Crosby and Malkin and what's his name from Toronto?
Kessel.
Thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
I think he goes onto the point too during power play too. I'm not 100% on that.
And what's crazy, Lance, they don't even have their best defenseman, Letang.
No, he's out for the rest. But when you got an offense like that, you're looking to hopefully score 5 goals a game like they did last night.
Yes. I agree with you. Penalty kill is actually kind of pretty close. Nashville is 4th this year in the postseason, while Pittsburgh is 8th.
Penalties in postseason, there's a kiss of death there, because they usually don't call very many. You basically almost got to cut a guy's head off now to get a penalty, which I don't mind, actually. I like that they let him play.
I will say, though, and if anyone's listening that's a Penguins fan, they can get mad at me if they want, but I hated the call that Phil Kessel got in the Ottawa game that helped them win that series.
Which call was that again? Remind me.
It was the one where in double overtime where Phil Kessel got a penalty and he acted like he got shot.
I can't remember that, but yeah, Phil Kessel, he is that kind of guy. But
I just hate it when they call those. You know what I mean? When you see that a guy is definitely embellishing.
Doing the old soccer English football thing. Oh my God, I'm dead. And then 10 seconds later, they're right back up.
Yeah.
At least in hockey now, they will fine you afterwards and eventually suspend you. But
are they doing that now too?
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while now, and but they won't. If anything, that'd be next year. Like, who cares, right? We'll suspend you for the first game next year. Oh, who cares?
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Even now, yeah.
I'm curious to see, because I always said, and Pittsburgh figured it out, I think Murray's the better playoff goalie, and I'm not like knocking Marc-Andre Fleury, but ever since he had that series where the Flyers beat him up really bad in the postseason, he's been shaky.
Fleury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Murray, he's their goalie for the future, so you got to go with him.
Yeah, I figure Fleury will probably get moved this offseason.
Yeah, I think they were trying to trade him at the trade deadline, but they couldn't find any buyers.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Knights take him, actually.
That's right, because they can only save one goalie. Yeah. They're not going to be letting... they've already said they're keeping Murray.
Well, obviously, because he basically propelled them to win the Cup last year.
Well, I guess Pittsburgh's going to be trying to trade him as soon as possible.
And it's just crazy because they've basically seen everything, Pittsburgh, from, an experience standpoint.
Yeah, I hate Pittsburgh. They're one of the teams I can't stand. I got a bunch of buddies that are all Pittsburgh fans, right? So
it's just ingrained in us here because I'm a Flyers fan. So like,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
it's like you just hate Pittsburgh, kind of like I mean, I don't know, like you guys in Toronto or you in Montreal.
Canucks don't really have it. Well, it was Boston for a while. And
Okay,
then,
yeah, it's just like even the Rangers, like in the Devils, all those teams, like you grow up hating them.
yeah, it'd be more like the Oilers and the Flames. They hate each other. It was crazy when I lived in Alberta, and I'd be up in Edmonton, and we'd be in the bar partying, and some guys would come in with Flames hats, and it'd be like, guys would be like, fucking kill them, I'm gonna kill those fuckers.
Yeah. Here's a funny
just because
story
they're wearing a
for
hat.
you. I just remembered this. It's a funny story. I was listening to this on the way home on Sports Talk Radio here, and I didn't know this because I didn't see the opening of the game last night. The Nashville's coach, who used to be ours, Peter Laviolette, the censors in America forgot to censor him.
When he was on the bench,
He had like a pregame speech that they showed here.
Oh, in the locker room.
And they didn't censor him.
Oh, oops.
Like I didn't see it, so I'm gonna have to go look it up. It was something to the effect of he's like, game one, it's like anyone's chance to like win it, and we gotta go fucking take it.
Yeah, they don't. Wow, they're not high.
So down here in America, they didn't censor it, and I think it's Pierre LeBrun, the guy that calls the Devils games. He's like probably the most famous announcer to do hockey down here in America, and okay. I guess he didn't know, so he never like said anything after it happened. And like when they came back from the first commercial break, he had to apologize for it.
Yeah, well, they should have known. You're in the locker room. You're going to hear something.
I know, but it's just like, wow, way to fall asleep at the wheels, censor guy.
Yeah, they usually have them on at least a 3-second delay, you would think.
Yeah, common sense would tell you that. I mean, I've seen that happen so many times, though.
Well, at least in the locker room, they should know that this is hockey. Well, this is any sport. There's swearing goes on, a lot of it.
Well, just in sports in general.
Yeah, every sport. I'm sure even golfers get, you see them, they miss a thing. You see them put their head down and they're saying, it's not saying, oh, that was a good thing. They're swearing.
Yeah. Now, what did you think of game one last night? That was a weird game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Up 3-0 and then tied 3-3 and then 2 goals in the end of the third period. Definitely an exciting game if we can see games like that. I'd like to see 7 games.
I've never seen a game where one team in the first period, Pittsburgh, where they, basically showed their dominance early on to score 3 goals and then get basically dominated or outplayed almost the entire rest of the game.
Yeah, they were lucky. They were lucky.
I've never seen a team where they haven't got a shot in, 30 minutes or more?
Yeah.
That is, unheard of. I mean, part of it was them kind of just playing not to lose. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, they should have kept their foot on the accelerator.
However, Pekka Rinne had a down game for him. There's no way you can allow that many goals on that few shots.
Exactly, but man, he's an elite goalie. I bet you're not going to see that again.
I was going to say he's got to figure it out.
He's already probably figured it out, and I wouldn't doubt he gets a shutout in this next game. Yeah, well, you never know, but
yeah, well, you would think
this is basically a must-win for Nashville already.
Yeah, well, you want to, at worst, like I was going to mention, you want to split when you're on the road.
Exactly, get the split, go home.
Because, like you said, that's just very weird. Like Pittsburgh got very, very lucky because I'm thinking, all right, it's tied 3-3. They got the momentum, and then Pittsburgh just kind of flipped that switch and came right back and won the game.
Yeah, they got that. Their offense is so powerful. They got two excellent lines, and my third line's not bad either. So
it's that I think they call it the HBK line, the one that when they had Shawn Michaels there last year.
Yeah,
that one's just as good as their top line. It's the one.
The tang out definitely hurts, but
yeah, it's the one with Kessel on it. I can't remember the other two guys.
One's obviously got an H, and the other one's got a B.
Yeah, there you go. But it's like you said, their offense is crazy. It's unfair that they have so much talent like that.
Well, winning the lottery sure helps. Like you're Philadelphia this year. What, they moved up from 12th?
Yeah.
To second?
That's going to be interesting because I keep hearing that, it's either the one guy or the other guy. Like they're both can't miss prospects.
Yeah, my damn Canucks fell down to 5th. It's like, jeez.
Oh, it's weird that the Devils of all teams are number 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm not a fan of these lotteries.
No, me neither.
It does stop teams from tanking at the end of the year on purpose, which was they were basically did it for. But the worst team should get the first pick. That's just what I think. And especially like the Flyers, they moved up from 12th to
second.
That means they just basically missed the playoffs.
Yeah,
but whatever, good for them.
Yeah, well, they're a mess in a lot of different ways, I
got a bunch of buddies that are Edmonton Oilers fans. They're huge Edmonton Oilers fans, and they basically won because of ping pong balls. They won the draft lottery like 3 out of 5 years, right?
And that's unheard of.
Yeah, ping pong balls. Yeah, you're nothing to do with skill there.
And now they're a legitimate threat in the West now because they got Connor McDavid. And they finally got themselves a number 1 goalie. Who is their goalie?
Cam Talbot.
Okay, yeah. I know. I couldn't remember, but now I know it that you mentioned that.
But they got a big problem coming up. They got about 4 of their amazing guys all coming up on get signed.
Ooh.
So we might see like Jordan Eberle, I think that's his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's one guy that might get left off and go to the Golden Knights, right?
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because just can't afford them. They got other guys they got to pay for. Because obviously, Connor McDavid's going to be an Oiler for life.
You would think.
They're going to pay him whatever he wants.
I never trust the Oilers after they traded Wayne Gretzky.
Well, they had no choice.
But you know what I mean. After that,
yeah,
nothing is off the table.
Well, they got pretty good players back for him, but you're giving up the best player ever in the history. And it wasn't like he was in the twilight of his career.
No, he was still good.
Yeah. He took a horrible LA team and took him to the finals.
I still think it's so weird, and it's nothing against Nashville. It's just weird to say, oh, Nashville, they're in the Cup Finals.
It is weird. It definitely is a weird sounding name, but hey, their fans are crazy.
Well, see, I love that, though.
Yeah, it's like Ottawa, and for that 6th game against Pittsburgh, they didn't even sell out their stadium.
Oh, no knock to
that's
Ottawa.
An embarrassment.
I was just getting ready to say that. I mean, I'm not trying to knock them, but that's a fucking embarrassment.
Because I know you see in our Canadian shows, sports shows, how they say, "Oh, Phoenix only had 9,000 people in their stadium or their arena." Now, this is Canada. This is your team in a do and die game
and they can't
to
even
get to the finals, and they can't even sell it out. They only didn't. It was only like 700 tickets they didn't sell it out from, but that should have been sold out as soon as the tickets were unavailable type thing.
Like Lance, in like hot market cities that love hockey, like Chicago, Philly, New York. Obviously there's more Detroit. They would sell out in 10 minutes.
Seconds, yeah.
That's why I'm just saying, that's that. And like you're saying, these Canadian people, oh, well, so-and-so only had this many thousand people. Well, then you need to friggin' handle your own shit and stop worrying about other people.
Exactly. It's like the Canucks. You gotta wait. You want season tickets. You're on a waiting list now.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, you gotta hope somebody next year doesn't want them. Right? And then you're in line. But because they still have lots of seats they leave for just walk-up fans, right?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, some people gotta wait. Where
I don't go to Flyers games. The reason being is they outpriced me.
Yeah, that's just insane. And when you gotta pay $9 for a beer.
Not even so much that. It's just even for tickets.
Well, tickets for a Canuck game aren't that bad. They're about, maybe you can get some ones for like $60, $70.
And they're decent seats?
Yeah, they're all basic. That's a nice brand new arena. Basically, anywhere you sit's good.
Okay.
But then you got your $10 for parking, and you got your pop. That's like whatever beer. Like Jesus Christ, like it wasn't a hockey game, but it was a concert I went to. I spent $120 on a case of beer in there. Well, buying 12 beer, almost $9 each, right?
That's just crazy.
Oh well, I had the money and I wanted beer. So either buy it or don't. You don't have to buy it.
No, but still, holy shit. But,
yeah.
All right, Lance, who do you think wins the Cup this year?
Well, I'm going for Nashville, but I can't. I see Pittsburgh double repeating. First time in a long time a team will repeat.
I'm gonna go and say Nashville in 7 games because maybe Pekka Rinne can, keep them in it enough to do that.
I'm hoping for I'm hoping for Nashville in 7, but I'm thinking it might be Pittsburgh in 5.
Oh, I hope it's not 5. That would
no, I hope not too. But that's just what my other prediction. But I definitely want to see Nashville win because I hate Pittsburgh, and they've never won it, and it's just going to be odd to say Nashville is a
Stanley Cup champs.
It was like trying to say Tampa Bay Super Bowl champion, right?
Or even when they won the Cup in like 2004.
Tampa Bay, yeah, that's all right.
Which
was
was
Calgary,
another
I think.
Weird time with LeCavalier and St. Louis.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That was right before the work stoppage.
Was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. Because I remember Tampa Bay was the last Cup champion, and then they never got the next season in, if I remember correctly. Because they had a whole season they didn't play, right?
What year was that?
2005?
Yeah, who knows? 2005.
You don't remember?
No, who knows what I was doing in 2005? I was being bad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
That's because there's no hockey on. I couldn't watch hockey. I had to go do bad stuff.
You fell off the wagon.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to do. I was so distraught.
Right,
but I don't do it anymore. I'm good.
On that note, everyone, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good shit. And we'll see you back next time. Have a good night.